Yay. So, welcome everyone to London to Paris Cycle, July 2026, which is our Tour de France edition. Um, I have gone through it. It is one of the best fundraising events out there, and there's a spectacular finish along the Champs-Elysees, around the Arc de Triomphe to the Eiffel Tower, and those iconic photos. If you haven't seen any of our Facebook posts at the moment, do get on there. Any of our social media, it is just full of London to Paris participants as they finished their cycle at the weekend. So it's brilliant. I'm just going to move. No, there we go. So coming back to this screen, who are Global Adventure Challenges? We are, do you know what? I just feel kind of like a bit like, woo, that we really do know what we're doing, but with everything, sometimes things don't go completely to plan. So, but yeah. We're going to look at the challenge itinerary, frequently asked questions, training and costs, and then answer any of your questions. So then what I will say now is I do need to speak about the ethos of a challenge, because the ethos is so important. And you might be coming on here as an individual wanting to take part, and you don't know anyone else, and you're going to get to that start hotel at the everything's going wrong, isn't it? My doorbell's just gone off. It's going to be a bad night. But you're going to get to the starting point. You're going to meet lots of other cyclists, but you are there to take part and to finish that cycling challenge at the Eiffel Tower. And that is kind of your objective. However, things change. And whether you've got to the hotel the night before and stayed over, whether you got there the first morning and you've suddenly started to talk to other participants on it, and you might have heard their story, and then you set off on day one and you stop for a break, and then you chat to a few more people, and then set off again, and you probably overtake it, and then someone's going past you, and you just like that chitter chatter as you go in, then you meet at lunchtime, and suddenly it's not about you as an individual completing the challenge. It's about the group completing the challenge. And everyone, it doesn't matter whether you're an experienced cyclist of 20 plus years or whether you're a beginner, you've all got something to give. And you know, those people that perhaps first out, and this is way beyond their wildest dreams to be doing something like this, you know, and they could struggle on quite a few of the longer days. And you're an experienced cyclist, guaranteed you're going to be there at the end cheering them on as they come in as well. So it really is, that is the ethos where every single person comes together and you are supporting each other. And there is something as well that we call type 2 fun. So type 1 fun is where it's instant gratification. You're on the swings in the park and you're absolutely loving it. And then type 2 fun is where at the time you really wish you were somewhere else. You don't wish you were sitting on a saddle, cycling those long miles. You hate the fact that you came on this call, but by the end of it and on reflection, you are buzzing with what you've achieved. You hold that bike up high with the Eiffel Tower behind you and get that iconic photo, and you are just so chuffed with yourself. So that's what we call type 2 fun. And you will experience a bit of both as you're going. So who are Global Adventure Challenges? We have been running now for over 20 years and operated in over 36 countries worldwide. We're offering, 36 countries. I think we're offering over something like 60 events a year at the moment. We've worked alongside over 1,500 different charities and helped raise in excess of 50 million through the provision of overseas and UK challenge events. And that's 50 million that we are aware of. There's lots more out there that are fundraised that we just don't know what those totals are. We do have the backing of we look for the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, that if anything happens in any of the countries we work in, that they are unfit to travel, we will look at postponing or cancelling the event, or moving you to a different event at no cost to yourselves. So you have got that security as well. So the challenge itinerary, just to that is kind of where we're going. So we start off in London, in Croydon. We come over to Calais, and we arrive at Calais at night. So you will need a light on your bike to get you to that first night hotel. Then we go on to Arras for day 2. Day 3 we go on to Compiègne, and day 4 we end in Paris. So that is the route that we're taking. Temperatures are going to be very, very similar to what they are in the UK. Um, so just to say as well, day 1, London to Calais, you're cycling approximately 86 miles. A large holdall, I would say, for your luggage, a large soft holdall, because the guys will be throwing it on and off the vans. Each day they will take it to your hotel. It'll be at your hotel when you're ready. When you get there, and then the following morning they will load it up onto the van for you. So just a holdall. You won't be able to get anything that's in your holdall during the day. So make sure everything you need is with you on that bike, whether it's in a small backpack, camelback type thing, handlebar bag, whichever you prefer, or just in your top. Day 1, we'd recommend you to take a thin kind of like outer fleece or something with you, that you can just put on if there's a delay, or you've got to wait for that ferry on day 1. The other things you might want to carry with you: tissues, phone, camera, your personal first aid kit, your puncture repair kit, all those little things to have with you, and your snacks. Don't forget your snacks, they're important. Okay, so this is your elevation on day 1. You're going to be stopping about every 20 miles, whether it's a water and snack stop or a lunch stop. Toilet stops on the way. They will be, you will know where they are when you get your map through. They're not, for men, you're okay. For women, it's not as easy. Let's put it that way. Especially if you're in a full kit with bibs, it's not as easy to just nip behind a bush as it is for a gent to nip behind a bush. So there are lots of cafes on the route as well that you can always stop off, and obviously the queue isn't as long as it is when you get to the lunch stop. So the toilets are marked on the route guide. There are, as I say, quite a few cafes on the route where you can stop off. So day 1, that it gives you an idea of the elevation. It is a tough day, and it is probably the toughest day out of all of them, because you are time bound to get to Dover on time before that ferry leaves. Don't panic too much though, because if you are lagging behind, what we can do is we can literally, there is a support van, we can pick you up and we can just move you forward a little bit, to give you that little bit of an edge on everyone else. So don't panic if you are lagging behind. Okay, so here you are at the start. The Hilton Croydon is where these guys started from. And it is an early start. So check-in, you can either check in the night before between about 6 and 7, or you can register on the morning, which will be between about 6:15 and 6:15. So a very early start. At registration, you're going to be getting an armband which you need to wear every day, and that has got your details on it, your name on it, but it's also got an emergency details on it and your challenge leader's phone number. You're going to get a route guide that's got all that information on as well, with your challenge leader's phone number. And about 2 weeks before, if you wanted it, you can get in touch with the office and they can send you over a GPX file as well, so you can have that. You're going to have a briefing before you set off. Probably you'll have had your breakfast already, perhaps at the hotel where you're staying the night before, or if you cycled there from, perhaps you've stayed at a friend's. I'm just thinking you're not going to cycle there from Scotland in the day, but we might still have someone from who are going in September. So you might want to get some breakfast before you head off that morning. And then you're on the roads down to Dover, and there's some cheeky little hills in there. But as I say, just think you've only got 20 miles to your next stop, which isn't that far when you're on a bike. So just think 20 miles, 20 miles. There are loads and loads of crew that take part and look after you on the event, and you won't be seeing all of them. but there are loads. So you've got your event manager who will oversee the whole of the challenge, okay? And they will be in the minibus, and you'll see them all the time. You'll see them every day. You're going to get bike mechanics as well. There's caterers. You will get the people who look after the water stops. They will be there. Obviously, they are going on ahead because they need to get you set up for all the breaks, and then they'll go on ahead again to set you up for your lunches. You also get the hotel coordinators, so they are going to be looking after your bags, and they're going to take your bags to the next hotel stop. You've got the route markers, which you can see over there on the right hand side of that picture. They are very important, but they are going to be going out the day ahead of you. So again, they're not people that you're going to see, but you will be looking out for those yellow markers everywhere. You've also got the support vehicle as well. And in there, we're going to be carrying a comprehensive first aid kit. Just so if there is anything, any issues at all, we've got you covered with that. So a large support. And here we are. This is one of the stops. This is a morning water stop. So you can see the water stations out there. We do recommend that you carry 2 litres of water with you. And on day one, you will need to carry your passport as well. As I said before, you're not going to have access to the van during the day. So it is important that you just carry a top, another layer that you can put on when you get down to Dover, just in case it's a little bit chilly when you're waiting there. There is no need to take locks with you because the bikes are stored every night securely. They'll either be stored in our vans or at the hotels. There'll be a room where they can get locked up. So you don't have to worry about that. So there you go. You go in on the ferry at Dover and then back off at Calais. You are arriving at night. So as I said, you will need a light on your bike. And remember, you're cycling on the right-hand side. So breakfast in the morning when you get up, it's going to be traditional breakfast. You're going to have croissants, breads, meats, cheese. Help yourself. Another briefing probably in the morning and telling you how the day is going to go. And then your challenge leader will set you off on the day to follow those yellow arrows. So there's your elevation for day 2. You can see the morning is undulating, but you've got a nice water stop at the peak of that first hill. And then again, the lunch stop again is at a really good place. And in the afternoon, you've got quite a chilled afternoon. It's nowhere near as bad. Now, do remember that this elevation is spread over 80 miles. Okay, so it's nowhere near kind of as bad as what it might first seem when you're looking at those peaks. Okay, it is spread over a big distance. So it's just saying there, following breakfast, we're going to leave the hotel in Calais and remember to stay on the right as we're heading off to Arras. Lunches are open air. Everyone loves the lunches. It's a buffet. We can cater for most dietary needs so long as we know about them in advance. It's no use telling us when you're in France that you've got some special requirements. It's really important that you tell us in advance. Things like pasta dishes, meats, cheese, cakes, tarts, fruits, things like that you're going to be having at lunchtime, and it is just going to be helping yourself. Evenings, the evening meal will be a dinner in a local hotel or a local restaurant. Could be the hotel where you stay in or similar. And the hotels we stay at, the basic hotels, really comfy, decent night's sleep, all en suite. We base them on a twins share, same sex, similar age. So if you're going, if you're a lone traveller, you will be paired up with someone. If you don't want to be, you can opt for a single supplement, and those prices are on our website. If you're going with someone that you know, let us know. We won't assume that you're going to be room sharing with a specific person just because it's the same address back home. We have had people before that husbands and wives that have said, we don't want to be in the same room as each other, which is fair enough. We won't go into that. So again, just let us know. So day 3, you're going from Arras to Compiègne, and it's about 75 miles today. Those peaks aren't as bad. One mean one nearing the end of the day, but it's a very, very chilled day today. And it's a day that a lot of people, it's normally their favourite day because you're going to be visiting a lot of the World War I, World War II battlefields. And it kind of gives you really time to reflect on these people that have gone before you, what they did, they fought for us, and kind of why you're taking part in the event as well. You know, who you're supporting. Um, you might have struggled on some of those hills. It might have rained and you might have hated the rain. But wow, aren't you lucky to be able to feel that rain? Aren't you lucky to be able to tackle those hills? And you might not enjoy them, but you're there doing it and you're doing it for a good cause. And I think today enabled you to really reflect on that and just have that little bit of quiet time before you head off into Compiègne. So there you go. Following the traditional tree-lined avenues, we approach the next stop in Compiègne. So our bike mechanics that travel with us, they will carry basic kit. They will be able to help you out. If you need anything basic, we do ask you to obviously to carry your own puncture repair kits en route. If you've got a very technical bike, they might not have the facilities, so you might need to carry that with you. If anything happened and they can't repair your bike on the road, we do have some spare bikes that you can change. So you could jump on one of those, and then that night the mechanics can have a look more depth for you. And they are there every night if you just want your bike quick and checking over if you're not happy with anything. Just give them a shout and they will be there. Okay, so day 4, the last cycling day. So very mixed emotions this morning. Very, very exciting when you get up that you want to get going, but also it's the last day in the saddle today. Some of you will be made up that you won't be sitting on that saddle again, whereas others of you are going to really miss it and miss that camaraderie that you get in as you're cycling along. So mixed emotions, but very exciting. So there's your elevation for the day. You'll see as you get to about 65 miles, there is a meeting point where everyone will regroup, and you regroup so that you can cycle in together, so that everyone will cycle together. And this is where the hairs on the neck are really, really going to stand up. As you come along past the Arc de Triomphe, you go right round it, down the Champs-Élysées, and the finish line is at the Eiffel Tower, where you will see our banner, and other guides will be there for you. The challenge leader will be there with all your medals, because you're going to get a medal as you finish to say congratulations, you have completed the London to Paris cycle. So there you go. That's just some of the types of terrain you're going to be on. The roads in France, I don't know if you've ever been on the roads in France, but they are very, very flat, very, very easy to cycle on. And there you go. There they are at the finish line. Amazing. Look at those people on the streets as well. And the medals. Cheers as they've done it. If you wanted to, because obviously the next day, you're looking at this in July, the next day is for the closing ceremony of Tour de France. You are able to extend if you wanted to by one day. You don't have to tell us at the time of booking. That's something you can decide later on and let us know. What we will do today is we will, or they might do this today, or they might have done it last night. They might ask where you want to collect your bike, because once you get to Paris, the guys will take your bikes off in the vans, and you're not going to see them again until you get back to the UK. And they're going to be wrapped in really thick rugs to protect them as they go into the van. And you can either pick your bike up from St. Pancras station or from the starting hotel. So you would just need to tell them today where you're going to be picking up from. And as I say, there is no, you don't have to tell us in advance with this at all. Not a problem. Okay, so you can have your breakfast today. And then it's a free day. So you can chill, you can watch some of the finishes from the Tour de France coming in. Do you know what? I don't know if any of you saw them this year, but they're like swarms of bees, aren't they? They come in so quick in groups. It was just amazing to see. So it is your final day. If you're coming back on the train tonight, then you will need to get to the Gare du Nord station to catch the Eurostar. And the same if you're coming back the following day, you would still need to make your own way to the station. So, some frequently asked questions. Is this challenge for me? I think that goes on to the next one as well, as how fit do I need to be? The challenge is for everyone, but it's not something that you can just do if you've never been on a bike since you were a kid. You do need to have that time in the saddle. Your bum needs to be used to that saddle. You need to be used to your bike. You've got very long miles ahead of you on the event. You don't need to have cleats, so please don't panic about that. You know, you can use normal pedals, that is fine. Do I need any specialist kit? You will need a good pair of padded pants for sure. I would recommend some chafing cream. I know that's not part of your kit, but you will need that. Probably some gloves as well. Some cycling gloves will help. And really, apart from that, it's just the kit that you would normally have if you're cycling. We do send a comprehensive kit out with you. Sorry, with you. When you register, you will get a comprehensive kit list. You'll also get a comprehensive training guide as well. And with training, what we recommend is that you train on consecutive days to know what it feels like to get up with tired legs or a sore bum and get back in that saddle and go again. Do I carry my own luggage? I think we have covered that, that it will be transported each day for you. What sort of backup is there? We've definitely covered that. What happens if I get tired? So there are those stops on the route approximately every 20 miles. But if you are feeling tired and you don't feel that you can go on for the next bit, speak to one of the challenge leaders out there and just say to them you're feeling tired. Because what you might be able to do is jump in the van and they will take you perhaps to the lunch stop or they will take you to the afternoon stop if that's easier. And it'll just give you time to recoup. But again, the more training you do, the more you will enjoy the event, the more you will be used to those long miles. And I think when you're training, what I would say is be familiar with the gear that you're going to be using, you know, when you are away. So the equipment that you're going to be using, get used to it. The clothes that you're going to be wearing, get used to those as well. And get used to drinking your water from your bottle when you're cycling. Or if you're using a hydration pack, get used to carrying the hydration pack. Get used to using electrolytes in there as well, because they're really important, or gels if you use gels, whatever you're going to be using on the event, get used to it in your training. Will the food be like? I think we have answered that one. A new question which we get asked a lot is about electric bikes, e-bikes. And it's can you use them on this event? And it really isn't as straightforward as a yes or no answer, I'm afraid. We do have issues with how you charge the bike. Some hotels won't allow you to take a bike into a room. And if the bikes are going to be stored in the van overnight, there is no charging point for that. Also, something else to consider is the range of the battery. How far will that battery get you throughout the day? And if anything went wrong with it, our mechanics are there for push bikes, pedal bikes, but they're not there to fix e-bikes. So again, it's something to be aware of. If you really wanted to use it, your bike needs to meet the legal requirements of the EAPC, the electronically assisted pedal cycle. And your battery must be removable so you can charge it in your room. There is some more information on our website about that, so do have a read of that. Okay, so the training and the costs. So training, we strongly advise to train on the lead up. By increasing your fitness levels, you will get the best experience, absolutely. You are provided with a training guide and a kit list in your welcome pack. And that when you register, what happens is you create your own hub. you will get, and that is where your welcome pack will go to. So within that, you'll get a challenge itinerary, you'll get some challenge information, you'll get a welcome guide, you will get the training guide as well, and your kit list. So that will all come to you within minutes of you registering. So you'll have that straight away. The best cardio exercise to prepare for a cycling challenge is to cycle. Get out there and do as much as you can. You're going to be strengthening the right muscles and get used to that time in the saddle. Don't forget, we're here to support you every step of the way. Our customer care team are literally only a phone call away. And remember, it's a challenge. It's not a race. It's not about the first over the finish line. It's about that ethos of the challenge that everyone finishes, and everyone is there to support each other. It's certainly not about the quickest or the best. Okay, so the costs of the event. So the registration fee is £149. You can either register on option A, which is on minimum fundraising, which is where you're pledging to raise £1,950 for CHAS. From that, CHAS will then pay for your place on the challenge event. Okay. Option B, self-funding. Registration fee is exactly the same, but you will be paying the challenge balance of £975, which is payable 12 weeks before the challenge takes place. If you decided to go for the minimum sponsorship option, we ask that you've raised 80% of the challenge of the minimum sponsorship amount 12 weeks before the challenge takes place, and the remaining 20% to be with CHAS 6 weeks after the challenge has been completed. So it just gives you a bit of a guide. So what's included in all that? You've got your ferry crossing from Dover to Calais. You've got your Eurostar ticket to get back again. We're not going to just dump you in Paris and leave you there. You've got all your accommodation except for the evening prior to the start of the challenge. So if you wanted to stay in the hotel that night, you would have to pay for that yourself. Lunch on day 1, then breakfast, lunch and dinner on days 2, 3 and 4, and breakfast on day 5 is included. Your refreshment stops, which includes all your water, your fruit, your snacks, your energy bars, cereal bars, all that is included. Your backup and your support vehicles, your route markers and cycle guides, your English speaking guides, your event crew, mechanical support, and your challenge medal are all included. What's not included is your breakfast and dinner on day 1. So the breakfast will be before you start, before you actually head off on day 1. And then your dinner is on the ferry that night. Okay, so you will be getting that yourself. And then day 5, once you've had breakfast, you've then got that free time in Paris. So your lunch and dinner wouldn't be included. Alcoholic drinks are included. Your bike hire, so you will need to bring your own bike that has been recently serviced with you. Your bicycle insurance, your own travel insurance, and your tips and gratuities are included. Okay, any questions? Have we got anything? I'm just going to move on to that last one. If you wanted to take a screenshot of that, we have got an offer on at the moment where there is £50 off for registration if you book before midnight on the 31st, that's Thursday. You'll need to use the code TDF50, so that is Tour de France 50 at the checkout, and that will take your registration down to £99. Okay, hi guys, nice to see you again. Is there any questions? No.
I don't have a question, Judy, but I done the challenge last year. Well, I didn't do the same challenge. I done London to Amsterdam last year.
All right, yeah.
Obviously, the Olympics were on, so for anyone that's not sure about it, it's a great event. Hence why I'm doing it again next year. And it was through Global Adventures, different charity, but Global Adventure supported. So it was a really well organised event. The team were superb, and I know you said that we had a laugh. There was one gentleman who is still a friend, and that's the thing. There's friends that we've made after it. But he actually got on the bike for the first time and actually completed the challenge over 4 days. So getting out of Croydon, we didn't. He's an ex-footballer, so he's fairly fit, but he hadn't been on a bike. Had literally bought the bike and never ridden it before he'd done the challenge. So it can be done.
Right. Okay. Fills me with kind of dread and faith as well.
It filled me with dread at one point because I thought he's never going to make it, but he did, and all credit to him. So, but no, a really, really good event.
And you are right, Craig. You do make friends for life, don't you? A load of strangers at the beginning, and then you've shared something magical with them, and it is life changing. I know it's such a cliche saying it, but it really, really is.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I'm doing it for CHAS is the last time I done it for Glasgow Children's Hospital charity, and obviously they work really closely with CHAS. And one of the guys who actually done it last year, his child uses Robin House in Balloch. So I think he's doing it this year. I met him at the Tour de Britain in Glasgow a few weeks ago, and he was definitely talking about signing up. So no, it should be definitely good.
Fabulous.
I've got a quick question.
Of course.
Yeah. If we decided we wanted to stay longer in Paris after the event, can the bike be stored at St. Pancras for 3 or 4 days after that?
Okay, unfortunately not. You would still need to get arranged to have it either collected from St. Pancras or from the hotel. We can't be responsible for putting your bike into storage, I'm afraid. Or you can keep it with you in Paris.
Okay, yeah, spot on. Thanks for that.
Just a quick comment, Judy. Did you say that every single person completed it this week who signed up? Is that what you said at the beginning?
Yes.
That's incredible. That is a huge success rate. Yeah. So if anyone here is taking part next year, it looks strongly likely that you will finish it. We'll take that as a good omen.
Definitely. Do you know what? I'm not a cyclist, and I keep saying this, but I am excited by this event, and I am sorely tempted to. Oh, should I register? Shouldn't I? Craig, I think you've just inspired me there with it. You're a gentleman who hadn't cycled. Unfortunately, I'm not a footballer, so I mightn't have the same.
But to be fair, there was lots of abilities there last year. So and to your point, I think we did have one fast day, and there was a group of us who kind of, because you all go at your own speeds, but I remember day 3 and day 4, it was just all about, and actually it finished. So it's not as good a finish. I guess that's why I'm doing Paris, because coming into Amsterdam, lovely city, but it's not quite the same landmarks. But when we came in that final kind of peloton, it was a couple of the nurses who led us off. So 2 of the nurses from the Glasgow Children's Hospital were there. So again, it was great to see them at the front. And to be fair, 2 of them have signed up for this challenge next year as well. So doing it for a different charity, but there's a whole load of us going back next year, which shows it's not that bad a challenge. Brilliant. Albeit, I hear there's a few more hills going through Paris than there was. Obviously, going to Amsterdam is completely flat, so it was all cycle paths and kind of offside roads and farm roads.
But you had longer days. But yeah, there are hills and
And to be fair, a couple of times, I know most of the routes are days are 80 miles. There was a day when we went into Bruges last year that we ended up cycling for an extra 20 miles to get over 100 miles. So once you get on the saddle, you get talking to people, and it's a really good experience.
Yeah. The ethos of the challenge comes in, doesn't it? Those strangers that become lifelong friends, definitely.
Oh, that sounds amazing, Craig. Thanks for sharing and for signing up for CHAS. We've got a question in the chat from Chloe. Do we cycle as one big group or split into smaller groups?
You will cycle at your own pace, and you will naturally split up. It's like when you walk, you naturally split up, and yeah, you will, but you might be cycling in a group in the morning, in one group in the morning, then the afternoon you just start cycling with different people. You're not, it's very much at your own pace. I don't know, Craig, would you agree with that?
Yeah, you cycle with all different groups throughout the day. So you might start off with somebody and then you get speaking to someone else and even from other charities and you start to talk about, well, why are you raising funds and why are you doing this, and you hear other people's stories. So yeah, the breaks are really good, like, as you say, every 20 miles. And then usually you find some people like I'm going to stay for rest my legs for a bit longer and then set off with a different group. So yeah, met lots of different people, and not just from Scotland, all over the UK. Like the challenge we done last year for Global was it was all the children's hospital charities across the UK. So you got speaking to other groups and why they were doing it.
I think as well, don't think you've got to get your head down. You've got to, like, you don't even look up. You're just cycling. It's not like that. It's very, very chilled. You're going probably an average of about 12 miles an hour. And that really is day one to get you down there on time. After that, it's a lot more chilled when you're over in France. So you will be chatting to people. You're not just kind of cycling and not talking to anyone. There'll be a lot of camaraderie, a lot of conversations going on as you're cycling.
Another question from me, Judy. How are, numbers looking capacity? Is there still plenty of space for next year? Is it filling up? That would be useful.
It's obviously we've just seen a surge because London to Paris has just finished and the offer has been on, which is why we wanted to do this information evening before the offer finished, so that you can make the most of it. It is filling up nicely. It is kind of where we would expect it to be at the moment, but we have got plenty of places. So please don't panic that you've got to register, but £50 off the registration is fabulous, and I'd say it is just on for the month because of Tour de France. We've linked it in with that.
Fab. We'll hopefully get the recording from you tomorrow if that's possible, just so that we can send it out to those who didn't make it tonight. So they've got the opportunity to use that discount code, or we'll send it to you guys as well if you want to watch anything back, or if you want to forward it to any friends, get them to sign up, or get them interested. We welcome that. The more the merrier from our side at CHAS. So yeah, that will come your way as well.
Any other questions, guys? No? Well, it was lovely to meet you all. Really apologise about the first half hour and the mix-up that we had then. Fiona, huge well done. Yeah, massive well done for that. I take it that you covered all the fundraising at that point.
Pretty much. And I think for everyone on the call, if the fundraising part of it is the challenge or that's the part you're worried about, we're absolutely here. Holly will send out the recording and we can absolutely pick up any specific fundraising questions after that. And we'll, if you do choose to sign up, we'll send out all those materials that I was talking about and can send out extra things if you need them when you need them. So we'll pick all that stuff up, but hopefully I gave enough of a flavour of that earlier.
Oh, well, guys, it was lovely meeting you all. Really looking forward to seeing those registrations coming through and then the excitement of getting training. And yeah, on the lead up, you've got 51 weeks to train. Not that I'm counting or anything, but 51 weeks is a fabulous lead time. And if you are lucky enough to take part on this life-changing event, then just have the most awesome time.
We'll see you there, Judy, with your shorts on.
Yes, you don't tempt me.
Come on, do it for the girls. I'll cycle with you.
Oh, so are you a very keen cyclist?
I'm a very keen cyclist, but I'm also related to a snail cyclist. So 12 miles an hour sounds just perfect for me. So yeah, can't wait.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much, Judy, and everyone for joining us this evening. And yeah, look forward to hopefully seeing some of your names popping up on our sign up list. And yeah, Craig, you'll be there. We've already got a sign up, so I need to find those cycling jerseys now with CHAS Brandon. I've said it here first.
You will. You will. I did ask Jackie. I was speaking to Jackie Malloy about this a few weeks ago, so
Oh.
I was saying we'll need to get some top sorted.
We'll absolutely get on the case.